Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's fourth and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather. So it's 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 4th of December. We'll be able to extend out beyond that with a set of GFS and CFS Ensembles. Over a couple of weeks, we'll have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for December itself, actually, by the way. And I should get on with that for you in a moment. Just say that first. Video today was our 6 AM UK weather forecast with also releasing EC42 day forecast and JMA Friday as well. Please check out all of today's videos and content, and thank you so much everybody for doing that for GavsWeatherVids. We're going to be live at 10:30. We're going to be live streaming the pub run. What to know? No, that's going to be coming up at 10:30. I shall see you later on for that one, maybe. Get the magic water on standby. Right, well, let's start off central intention. The CT is currently sitting at 8.7, which is 2.2 degrees above 61 to 99 average. That is provisional to yesterday, to the 23rd of November. Now, I've been saying this for days on end, but I think that now is as high as it's going to get, and I reckon that will start dropping from here on in. So I still think we're going to finish up in the 7s with this by the time we get to month's end, but it's certainly held up, hasn't it? It's held up well, but I can't see how that can't drop when it updates tomorrow, so we shall see that. These are the 500 millibar high solid flow charts for Penn State University for next week, 10 days. Got the ECMWF on the top, and the GFS is down here on the bottom. So I have that in a bow. 500 millibars, 18,000 feet is an area in the actual high pressure, low pressure being moved around by a jet stream running above. Red extrapolates to above average heights, which is high pressure, and blue to below average heights, which is low pressure. Very interesting anomalies. Big blocking area of high pressure here across the northern latitudes with the ECM in a 7 to 10 day time frame, which sends the trough of low pressure to the south and the east. And yes, we bring in the wind from an east or a northeasterly direction there. Well, a northeasterly direction. Anyway, so that looks like it should be pretty cold and potentially wintry. Now, let's have a look at the G. That's VE. Let's have a look at the G, shall we? So, again, deep trough of below average heights across northern West Europe. In fact, covering much of Europe, really. Big trough of low pressure. And then if we go further northwards, yes, we again see that blocking area of high pressure around Greenland, sending back into the Arctic and over towards Russia as well. The jet stream should be, the jet stream will be doing something a little bit like that. Well, and so yes, we are placed within the trough there. The upshot is both the ECM and the GFS should be bringing a wind from a north or a northeasterly direction as we get into the 7 to 10 day time frame, both looking potentially cold and wintry for early December. These were GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks. We're at Newcastle today. The red line is a 30-year upper air temperature average for Newcastle. We're starting off cold and average at the moment. A little bit of a tick-up taking place late in the weekend and early next week with an area of low pressure coming in up Atlantic. Then solidly below average through the closing days of November and into the opening days of December. Down here, possibly signs of a slight recovery in the upper air temperatures towards the end of the first week and into the second week of December. So there might be a little bit of a milder trend then. Of course, that is a long way off, very extended range, and therefore unreliable. In the reliable time frame, which is the next week, 10 days, of course, it looks solidly below average, really, except for the little tick up that we get just there. Precipitation anomalies, lots of dry weather to come for the next couple of days, when we have wet weather coming in off the Atlantic through Sunday into Monday. And then this period here is quite interesting, end of November into early December. That's when it's pretty cold as well, and there is quite a bit of precipitation around in that period. So if it's cold enough, there could be a little bit of snow. Let's have a look at snow rows, shall we? See how that's shaping up. We do see quite a few snow spikes there. They are quite limited, so not that many of them. Or there are quite a few of them, but they're not that, not that intense, but there could be a few flakes falling anyway through the opening days of December. Let's go down to Sheffield. So that actually looks a little bit more promising for snow. Bigger snow spikes in Sheffield at the end of November into the beginning of December. Quite a few of them as well. Let's go further down to London. And even there we actually see a few snow spikes as well, including that one, which goes off a scale, but it's obviously an outlier. No, it's not quite as assured when we get down into London. But Sheffield, out of the three, I think Sheffield looks the best place for maybe quite significant snow. And Newcastle, I think, should see some snow, but probably not all that much. Remember, Newcastle is a coastal location, really. Temp anomalies shall be 24th of November, 2nd of December, below average, cold average week to come. Most parts of Europe included in that. Precipitation anomalies shall be 24th of November, 2nd of December, drier than average for Ireland, Western Scotland, but wetter than average for southern, eastern parts of England. Again, if it's cold enough, there could be something a bit wintry mixed in with that, maybe. Latest Windflow Map from NorthSchool.net shows that northerlies have descended. The main northerly shot is passing to our east through here. We're kind of on the periphery of it, but we are bringing down a northerly flow. It has turned cold. It's not stuck your head out the back door yet today. It is colder, but it has been for several days. And tonight is going to be a proper chiller. Frosty nights tonight. Okay, let's go through chart data then. So for the UK Met Euro run, we've got to go to the weather out. We're going to go to here. So we're starting midnight Monday with an area of low pressure over top of the country. That will be bringing wet weather in from off the Atlantic. That clears out of the way. For the early part of next week, we start to bring in these east-northeasterly winds within a slack gradient. Then low pressure starts pushing up from the south around the middle part of the week. That's running into the cold air. No, that low sort of passes over France really into the Low Countries, and we end up just really reinforcing the northerly and dropping a trough through the country. A nice mid-Atlantic ridge going up towards Greenland, a trough of low pressure sinking southwards. So up to the end of next week, the UK Met Euro run is looking pretty cold and wintry there. Icon, again, showing low pressure pushing through the country on Monday, bringing outbreaks of rain, gets out of the way into Tuesday. We turn the wind into a cold north-northeasterly. Next area of low pressure starts moving up from the south from Wednesday to Thursday. Again, we see that there's pretty cold air established across the country. The mildness of the air is across all parts of France with that area of low pressure. That low sort of moves across northern France, southern England, might take some rain, might deliver some snow leading edge into some southern parts of the country, but pushes away to the Low Countries by midnight on Friday. We reinforce the northerly, upper air temperatures still quite cold. That's how we end up with Icon for midday on Friday next week. Cold north-northeasterly winds, cold and wintry. Right, that's that one done. Let's have a look at the GFS midnight run. Again, we've got low pressure coming in from off the Atlantic on Monday, bringing quite a bit of wet weather in with it. In Tuesday and Wednesday, we turn drier, but it will be turning colder as well. For the middle part of the week, then low pressure pushing up from the south-southwest through to Thursday. That might deliver some snow on the leading edge. Again, there's the upper air temperatures, so looking pretty chilly anyway. Mildest upper air temperatures are to the south of the low, across the far southwest of England and into northern parts of France. So how far northwards we push this low is going to be critical as who gets rain and snow. But GFS midnight rain gets that low right way up to northern England. So the greatest risk of snow with that is on the northern side of the low. So eventually we would turn it back to rain. Well, possibly some snow in the south for a while on Thursday, but eventually would turn that back to rain in the south. But in the north it probably would stay as snow. And try back to isobars with that. So there would be a risk of quite significant disruption actually. With that low. Eventually the low gets out of the way by the end of the week. We return wind back into the north-northeast into the first weekend of December, looking cold and wintry as we move up towards a day 10 ridge of high pressure being through the country. That will bring more significant overnight frost. Upper air temperatures are looking cold. Now we go beyond that into extended range. Ridge of high pressure sits around the country for the rest of the first week of December. Lots of frosty nights to come. Then the high collapses into the second week of December, and we finish up turning milder, wetter and windier again with low pressure back in from off the Atlantic. This is the precipitation forecast Based on an Eastern run from the weather out, we're back to 2. Okay, got a range of sites that we're using for this one. So we're back to 2. So precipitation forecast starting on Sunday at 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Outbreaks of rain coming in from off the Atlantic. Some of that rain will be very heavy on the intermediate, so a little bit of a deluge pushing through. And Monday itself looking pretty grim, actually. Showers or longer spells of rain, and that will be cold rain as well. Cold November rain. GNR with low pressure sitting over the country and winds coming in from a raw easterly direction. By the time you're for Tuesday, we got rid of that persistent rain, and we're just bringing showering conditions onto eastern coastal areas. Now, beyond that, what happens? Well, high pressure ridges through the country the middle part of the week, over frost and whatnot. And then in comes wet weather Wednesday into Thursday. Now, that turns to significant snow through Wales and the Midlands overnight, Wednesday into Thursday. Heavy rain, torrential rain down in the south with that. Against on the northern side of the low, but we have the greatest risk of snow. So for the south-southeast, it's a deluge of wet weather. For Wales and Midlands and up to northern England, plenty of snow coming through with that to them. We go through Thursday itself, so heavy rain towards the east coast, but snow through northern England into southwestern Scotland, increasingly pushing up in towards Scotland as well. But it's vigorous low, so there would be disruption with that snowfall across central parts of the country. Eventually, we get a wintry mix coming back southwards again by the end of next week as the wind returns to the north-northeast. Then we're back into those northerlies again for the first weekend of December, turning drier, but with some really quite significant overnight frost. And then, of course, the Atlantic is eventually going to break through and turn mild and wet windier. Some snow into the south on the 6th of December, though. Another little snow event there. And then finally the Atlantic breaks through. Second week of December, and we're back to rain and much milder temperatures. Right, that's the midnight run. This is how the GFS 6Z is looking once more. Low pressure brings wet weather. Cold wet day on Monday. That low pressure gets out of the way for Tuesday, which is high pressure try and take over. We're looking rather messy, I have to say. Now, the low pressure, this is below here, that the GFS midnight run developed into a major feature and brought heavy rain, blizzards, whatnot. The 6Z GFS doesn't develop that anywhere near as much and has it much further southwards over France. So loads of uncertainty with that area of low pressure. Therefore, we don't get the heavy rain on Thursday. And we don't get heavy snow either, though. And we don't get an increase in temperature in the south. And what happens if that low goes from France to Germany? Eventually, by Friday next week, we're pulling wind back in to the east-northeast. So it never turns milder, but we don't get the snow event either. Upper air temperature looking cold. Up to day 10, we're back into those cold northerly winds once again. And then beyond that, start milder through the rest of the first week of December. We start to drag up more of a southwesterly flow. However, the cold air is never far away. This is seen to the closing frames of the GFS 6Z. So milder air and wetter weather is coming in from off down, but there's a lot of cold air just to our north and east. That's how the upper air temperatures look at the end of GFS 6Z to the 10th of December. Battle lines well and truly drawn there. Look how cold it is across much of northern Europe. Mild air down here. As I say, the battle lines are well and truly drawn there. Could get very, very interesting. This is how the precipitation forecast looks based on that GFS 6Z run. Won't be anywhere near as interesting as the midnight run. So heavy rain certainly into Monday. That wet weather clearing away by the time for Tuesday, leaving us with showers in the north and the east. Mostly dry through the middle part of the week. There's below, just there. On Thursday, it's down across France this time, being a mix of heavy rain and snow on the other side of the channel. A little bit of wintriness into the far south and southeast, but most of the snow event is over on the continent then. Further wintry showers piling in on those east-northeast winds by the end of next week. All looking cold and potentially a little bit on the wintry side into the first weekend of December as well. And then back into milder, wetter conditions with bouts of rain coming in from off the Atlantic. Colder, but some of that still be falling as snow though across Scotland there. That's Friday 8th of December. That's the very end of the GFS 6 Again, we've got some snow for Scotland, rain elsewhere. Battle lines are drawn. We are not far at all from the very cold air, just to our north and northeast. If you enjoyed the video, please do like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment? Let's know what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We only put on 40 subscribers now to get 17.3k. So if you could give us a sub, tell your friends about to subscribe, it would be amazing. It will be incredible. We will thank you very, very muchly. This is how the GM is looking about. Low pressure coming in off the Atlantic on Monday, bringing outbreaks of rain with it. Low pressure is off to Germany and the Low Country by Tuesday. We're back into cold northeasterly winds once again. All very slack through the middle part of next week. And then in comes below from France Thursday, midnight by Friday, though, back low, still across northern parts of France. So the GM also does not bring that low into the country. It looks like there's a chance that low might actually miss us and just stay cold through next week. Not necessarily that snowy though. No, so you're patient when you take your choice of this kind of pattern. If you want some snow, you've got to get below in. But of course there will be a mild section of that. So how far north the low gets will determine where the rain snow divide is. But of course, if you just want to keep it cold, then you'll be hoping that this low stays over France, because that keeps us then all within the cold northeasterly airstream. That's what the GM is doing. And so we say cold, and probably with wintry showers, snow showers into eastern regions as well. Moving up towards day 10. Again, all looking very slack, all looking quite cold over top of the country with a chance of some wintriness. And then the ECM WF looking like that. Again, low pressure is heading in off the Atlantic on Monday, bringing outbreaks of rain with it. Then the wind is into the east and northeast Tuesday. That brings wintry showers onto eastern coastal regions. Slack gradient through Wednesday. And then a trough coming off the Atlantic on Thursday. That's below. Believe it or not, this is below that the GFS midnight run develops into a very major, significant area of low pressure Thursday to Friday. The ECM has that over the Bay of Biscay at midnight on Thursday. Much, much further south and nowhere near as intense either. The low then by midnight Friday is over Germany. So it's gone in that direction and obviously has completely missed us. So we say quite cold, really. Don't really get a milder incursion at the end of week. Upper air temperatures looking pretty chilly there. And we say pretty cold then, right the way up to day 10. So there's the upper air temperatures, midnight sunny for example, -5, so it's iceberg is through the country. The next low is knocking on the door as we get through to midnight Monday, coming up against this block of cold air and high pressure. Up here we could have fun and games from that low depending on its track. This is a Precipitation Forecast based on that ECM run from TemPshow.com. So lots of dry weather to come today and tomorrow. Sunday we'll see showery outbreaks of rain coming up. A little bit of a chance of some sleet and wet snow even coming in with that. Very temporarily before it turns back to snow. But there could be a few flakes on the leading edge before it turns back to rain, I should say. Looking really quite wet from Sunday into Monday morning. Lots of heavy rain mixed in. That wet weather then gets out of the way as we go through the course of Monday. But staying pretty grim over on the east side of the country for much of the day. Wintry showers into eastern, northeastern regions through to Tuesday. But quite a bit of dry weather through the middle part of the week. There's that significant snow there Thursday over the continent from that low pressure. So much further away from us than the GFS midnight run has it. We have got some showery rain and something could turn wintry coming in as well to England and Wales. So a lot to be firmed up on for Thursday and Friday with that. By the time we get through to the end of the week and into the weekend, we're back into those cold northeasts. Wintry showers, snow showers are distinctly possible then. That's the scenario for day 10 with low pressure trying to get in from off the Atlantic Ocean. These are the options on the table within the ECM Ensembles Day for Day 10 from ECM.INT themselves. Gets us to Monday before December. 15 hours of the ECM Ensembles looking pretty cold winter, I think. Trough low pressure across the northwest Europe. It's combined with a blocking area of high pressure in the Atlantic. I think we're on the cold side of the jet stream just about with that, so I reckon that's still quite cold and wintry. And then we've got 14 just here again, large block of high pressure from Greenland to Svalbard, low pressure underneath it. Jet stream again will be down here somewhere. Winds again will be coming in from a cold east or a northeast direction. We've got 13 members of the ECM Ensembles again with a blocking area of high pressure to the north-northeast, trough low pressure to our south and southeast. Winds again coming in from quite a cold north or northeasterly direction. And then we've got 9 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure just to our west and northwest, low pressure extending through much of Europe. That might be a little bit more Atlantic influence with yes, it might be a little bit less cold, but even that would be relatively chilly, I think. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Will get us to the 9th of December. 13 members of the ECM Ensembles then have high pressure to our west and northwest, low pressure to our east and northeast, winds coming in like a northwesterly direction. So again, there's a little bit more of that, a little bit more of an Atlantic influence with that. The coldest of the air is moving toward more eastern, southeast parts of Europe with back trough of low pressure. Nevertheless, it wouldn't be mild. It would be quite chilly, really. We've got 10 members of the ECM Ensembles reducing the blocking. Low pressure in off the Atlantic into west of Europe. That's probably turning a little bit milder with winds in from the west, a little bit less cold. This is a genuinely mild pattern, though. So the other two are a bit marginal. They could be cold, they could be mild. This is genuinely mild scenario. 10 members of the ECM Ensembles with low pressure to the north, high pressure strengthening to west-southwest. That brings the wind back in from more of a west or a southwesterly direction. So that's properly mild then. And then we have got 7 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure right over the country. And to our east, that will be mostly dry, cold and frosty. We have got 6 keeping it cold, keeping it potentially very cold, blocking area of high pressure over Greenland, low pressure to our east and south, and winds again in from a north-northeast direction with that one. That's staying cold and wintry. And then lastly, we have got 5 members of the ECM Ensembles with high pressure to our west and low pressure slightly to the south. That's very messy, but I reckon that's probably getting a little bit less cold as well. Lots of options, lots of options there. Though we wait and see where things go as we go further on into the first week of December. Finally, December itself with CFS V2 today. This is the latest 700 millibar height, and I remember these change daily. But today's latest idea is to have a blocking area of high pressure around Greenland and Iceland. Low pressure is to the south bit through the Atlantic. Winds should be coming in from the east, especially in the north, so looking potentially quite cold and wintry. The temperature anomaly is about average or show no signal, but much of northern Europe forecasts have a colder than average December. And finally, how precipitation looking back to having no real signal either. But I suspect it will be drier in the north and wetter in the south. There would be wintry potential. That has changed a lot. That 700 millibar height anomaly forecast for December has changed a lot compared to what we were seeing from the CFS just a few days ago. So let's wait and see. Okay, we're done. If you've enjoyed the video, please do you like, share, and subscribe. Show me everyone for doing that. Why not drop a comment and just say what you think about this and all of our videos. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Okay, I'll just start coming up tomorrow and over the weekend. We're going to have an epic weekend coming up, as well as keeping you up to date with all of this cold and wintry stuff. Of course, we are at the end of our winter updates this weekend. So that means tomorrow, we've got 2 epic winter updates coming this weekend. Tomorrow, we're going to have 6 AM UK weather forecast. we'll have the third and final Winter 2023-24 season one roundup. That's going to get all of the long range ones together for the third and final time this season, see what we're all showing for the winter. So that's going to be very interesting. Watch at 10 a.m. We'll have a weekend forecast and a 10 to 14 there for you on Saturday. Then on Sunday, again, 6 a.m. forecast. And they've got the 13th and final winter update. It's going to be a real epic. It's going to end with a true epic. I'm not worried about run time. It'll go on as long as it goes on. So maybe it'll go on for 4 hours. No, it won't go on that long, but it is going to be an epic. We'll be live at 6 p.m. discussing the 13th winter update. Doing a 10-14 day, bringing you up to date what's going on with very cold weather and looking at the long range as well with that. And then straight after that, we will have the delayed 9th Christmas update, 9th sort of Christmas countdown will come straight after the live stream on Sunday. So lots to look forward to over the weekend. I've got a lot of work to do, but it's all good, you know. I love this time of the year. GavsWeatherVids really comes into its own at this time of the year, and so I shall see you a little bit later on, 10:30, with our Friday night pub run live. It's around the channel then at 10:30. Please check in, and we'll have a couple of laughs. But for this one, that's all for now, and back to watching.